Previously, on days 1 and 2 of our Arizona Strip trip, we set out to the Arizona Strip as we attempt to make our way from Page, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada. We camped the first night near scenic White Pocket in the Vermilion Cliffs. We then visited the north rim of the Grand Canyon and spent much of the day on smooth and occasionally muddy forest roads before ending the night at a historic cabin. Today, we continue west as we head from the cabin to scenic Jumpup Point and then head north to the small town of Fredonia. Then, we'll continue 60 miles into the remote but stunningly beautiful Toroweap Point of Grand Canyon National Park before camping for the night.
After an incredible night of sleep, we awoke the next morning well rested. We took advantage of the nearby facilities and scarfed down a quick breakfast. After walking around the cabin to check things out in the daylight, we then worked to clean things up and load up the Jeep once again. After a quick visit by a local ranger, we departed the cabin.
Day number 3, 9:29 a.m. Mostly unscheduled. Not too bad.
Half an hour late like normal.
Well, they were less late than we were yesterday.
That is true.
So,
That is true.
Off to Jumpup Point, Fredonia, among other things.
We headed north a few miles and made a hard left onto Forest Road 201 at Jumpup Divide. From here, it would be 10 miles of rough trail to get to the scenic Jumpup Point. The trail didn't disappoint. With several washouts and lots of rock ledges and narrow sections, we crawled south towards the overlook.
Don't scrape. Just slow and steady.
Like the devil's staircase.
Wow, that was a good one.
Yep.
Wow. I know I've been saying this the whole time, but that one is going to be real fun to come back up. Might need 4-wheel drive for that.
Eventually, the road let up and leveled off. The views immediately improved as we drove along the edge of the cliff. Shortly thereafter, the trail dead-ended, literally at the edge of the Grand Canyon. Before us was a tremendous drop-off and an impressive overlook of the intersection of Jumpup Canyon and the Grand Canyon.
We approached the edge and looked down into the chasm. The Colorado River loomed below, and incredible rock formation surrounded us on 3 sides. We let our nerves settle down and took an obligatory jump-up picture at Jumpup Overlook. We headed back north 10 rough miles and returned to Jumpup Divide.
At the intersection, we continued straight on Forest Road 236 and headed towards Fredonia. The drive smoothed out and was really beautiful as we wound through scenic canyons and wilderness areas. After 25 miles, we aired up yet again as we arrived back on pavement. Just a few miles later, we rolled into the town of Fredonia. We topped off the Jeep and filled 2 additional 5-gallon gas cans with extra fuel and topped off the ice in the coolers. Fredonia was founded in the late 1800s and serves as one of the largest towns on the Arizona Strip with a population of just over 1,000 people. For some strange reason, they have no grocery store though, and we were forced to make the quick jaunt into Kanab, Utah to get a few essentials for tonight's dinner.
Oh, this was a good call.
Within half an hour, we were back in Fredonia and headed west on AZ 389 for just 8 miles to the turnoff of Toroweap. Toroweap lies 60 miles south of the highway and remains one of the most remote yet most photographed viewpoints of the Grand Canyon. We aired down and prepared for the long road ahead.
Toroweap, you ready?
Absolutely.
How many miles till we see pavement again?
200 plus,
Yeah.
just about.
So yep, we're off to Toroweap and off to a schoolhouse and then an old mine and a lot of dirt road.
And no bathroom.
There is a bathroom at Toroweap. After that now. The reason why we aired down like we did, it's 60 miles, yeah. But according to the National Park Service, 1 out of 4 people get a flat tire on this road.
Great.
Yeah.
Just what we needed.
Well, that's why we have 2 spare tires and a tire patch kit.
Boy.
And we aired down.
Alright.
Let's go. Toroweap.
Let me know when I can drive.
Someday. We headed south on the long and straight BLM Route 109. The road was generally fast moving with long stretches of washboards. The further south we headed, the better the views got. After about 35 miles, the road began to wind and climb. Shortly after, we entered into Grand Canyon Parachute National Monument. The views continued to improve as we drove through a wide valley with cliffs on one side and a mountain range on the other. We checked in with the ranger at the 55-mile mark as we blazed through the greater Toroweap metropolitan area. The road got instantly rougher as we crawled along the final few miles. We grabbed a campsite and immediately set up camp. It was just before 7 p.m. and we decided to drive the final mile to the overlook to catch the sunset. After an even rougher 4-wheel drive trail, we finally made it to the viewpoint at the end of the trail. Here, a 3,000-foot drop greets those looking into the canyon. It is here where the Grand Canyon is the narrowest. The Colorado River thunders nearly a mile below, and the views are simply breathtaking.
After enjoying the viewpoint, we headed back to the campground where we got started on dinner. Tonight, chicken stir fry and rice. And it was absolutely delicious. The campsites at Toroweap require a permit from the Park Service, and chances are you will be joined by numerous others who made the drive as well. The campground is quite nice and has many great spots and 2 bathrooms. We called it an early night and headed to bed around 11 o'clock. Next time, we continue west on the roughest single day of our trip. We'll depart Toroweap, drive over Mount Trumbull, visit historic Mount Trumbull Schoolhouse and Grand Gulch Mine, and end the day with a long, brutal drive out of Grand Canyon Parashut National Monument. What could possibly go wrong?